And now, ladies and gentlemen, we're moving on to the first session of Voice of Ladies in Logistics. Our first panel brings together women leaders who are not only just participants in the industry, but actively transforming it through strategy, entrepreneurship, operational excellence, and inclusive leadership. In this dynamic opening session today, trailblazing women leaders share their journeys of navigating and transforming the logistics sector. The conversation will spotlight personal stories of resilience, the strategies used to overcome gender bias in the industry, and the leadership styles that have helped women rise to the top where they are today. Attendees will gain first-hand insights into the evolving landscape of logistics and the critical role women have to play in shaping its future. The topic of this panel discussion is Breaking Barriers, Women Leading Change in Shipping and Logistics. Let me also remind you that we do have representatives from India Seatrade among us who will take notes from this discussion and all discussions today, which will be collated, as is the case for every India Seatrade event. The points will be collated and will be submitted to the necessary authorities to make meaningful changes on the ground. And that's how these platforms become even more significant. Let me invite our panelists on stage. A loud round of applause as I invite Ms. Smitha Shetty, Regional Director, APAC, Achilles Information Limited. Smitha Shetty leads sustainability, ESG, and supplier due diligence solutions for Asia Pacific at Achilles Information Limited. As the first employee of Achilles India, she played a key role in building and scaling operations across APAC. With 18 plus years of experience spanning customer lifecycle management, operational excellence, and leadership, she drives sustainable supply chains, net zero initiatives, and trusted supplier-buyer decision-making across the region. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together to welcome Ms. Smitha Shetty on stage to our opening session of Voice of Ladies in Logistics. Welcome on stage, ma'am. Kindly be seated, ma'am. Our next panelist on stage, ladies and gentlemen, is Ms. Nillima Palav, Head Customer Care, CMA CGM Agencies India Private Limited. Ms. Nillima Palav is the Head of Customer Care, CMA CGM Agencies India Private Limited. She is a service-minded customer experience manager with broad scope of experience in shipping, industry, and supply chain. She possesses a keen ability to assess ineffective areas of customer service and propose effective solutions to the same. Her expertise lies in customer loyalty, relationship management, and value management. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together as Ms. Nillima Palav joins us on the panel. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome her on stage. Welcome to Voice of Ladies in Logistics, Ms. Palav. Our next panelist on stage, Ms. Rajeswary S., Managing Partner, Whiteline Projects. Rajeswary S. Pillai from Thiruvananthapuram. She is from a Thiruvananthapuram truck owner family, is a seasoned logistics and project consultant. She successfully secured coastal ro-ro jetty permissions, supervised oversized and multimodal transport, and led critical infrastructure and logistics projects for ISRO, aerospace, and defense sectors, executing complex operations across Kerala and Tamil Nadu with precision and expertise. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome her with a loud round of applause, Rajeswary S. Pillai. Welcome, ma'am. Our next panelist on stage, Ms. Sanjana Raghu Menon, Management Chakiat Agencies Private Limited. Sanjana Raghu Menon is a fourth-generation logistics professional at the Chakiat group of companies, delivering integrated shipping and supply chain solutions across India's major ports. Specializing in freight forwarding, customs broking, and transportation, she is driven by collaboration, long-term partnerships, and innovation, helping clients navigate a rapidly evolving global logistics landscape with confidence and efficiency. On stage, Ms. Sanjana Raghu Menon. Welcome, Ms. Menon. Our next panelist on stage, Ms. Anita Nair, Director, Ario Shipping and Logistics Private Limited. A logistics professional with 27 years of experience in shipping and logistics, starting with J.M. Buxty & Co. and later working with St. John Freight Systems Limited and Triton Logistics and Maritime Private Limited. She played a key role in establishing Navio Shipping and Logistics Private Limited and currently serves as Director at Ario Shipping and Logistics Private Limited, leading logistic solutions and ERP implementation initiatives. Welcome Ms. Anita Nair to Voice of Ladies in Logistics. Our next panelist on stage, Ms. Alina Ahmed, Regional Head, North and East India, Bharat Freight Group of Companies. Ms. Alina Ahmed is a Research and International Affairs professional at Bharat Freight Group, specializing in global trade corridors. Ma'am, you can take the front stage, please. All right, sure. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome Ms. Alina Ahmed, who is a Research and International Affairs professional at Bharat Freight Group, specializing in global trade corridors, maritime strategy, and infrastructure diplomacy. With over 9 years of experience, she has contributed to key connectivity initiatives including Chabahar Port in Iran, Sitwe Port in Myanmar, and the International North-South Transport Corridor, advancing regional economic integration. Ladies and gentlemen, it's a pleasure to have Ms. Alina Ahmed at the Voice of Ladies in Logistics panel. And now, ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome Ms. Sophia Pearlene, Director, Air Products, South Asia, Middle East and Africa, C.H. Robinson. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome her. She's a seasoned logistics and air freight leader with 20 plus years of experience across global supply chains. As Director, Air Products, South Asia, Middle East and Africa at C.H. Robinson, she drives performance and growth across regions. An award-winning people-centric leader, she brings deep expertise from top logistics firms and strong executive credentials. Let's welcome Ms. Pearlene on stage. Welcome to the panel, Ms. Pearlene. And now, ladies and gentlemen, it's my pleasure to welcome Ms. Asha Pillai, who will moderate the session today. Ms. Asha Pillai, Chief Strategy Officer at DocoVision, to lead the discussion with us today, ladies and gentlemen. Dr. Asha Pillai is a seasoned ports and logistics leader based in Cochin, Kerala, with over 3 decades of experience across shipping, container trade, and maritime education. She has served as visiting faculty at Indian Maritime University and now works with DocoVision while leading AID Foundation, advanced training, research, and sustainable port development. Ladies and gentlemen, a loud round of applause for Dr. Asha Pillai with us, and joining her and all the other powerful women on the panel. Over to you, Ms. Pillai, to moderate the session, and looking forward to insights from all women on stage.
So it is a great privilege to kickstart the session. And good morning, and a very warm welcome once again. You know that our industry, it's generally a high-pressure industry. It's not just today because of the developments. You know, it's always that way. And the leadership chairs are always hot chairs, you know. So there, the leadership role cannot be just labels. It is all about deep domain understanding. It is about what is called the clarity in complex situations, and it's about understanding of the situations and taking practical decisions. So today, we have all these distinguished, well-established lady leaders here with me, and we will discuss mostly business. You know, we will discuss leadership in action, and we will find out or check with them how the decisions are made, or how the challenges are addressed, and also how the practical decision-making is helping them, or how our industry is evolving in this era of technological advancement and global uncertainty. So today, I'm so fortunate to have a panel with me, which is a slice of the industry. You know, they're bringing expertise and exposure from a wide range of area in the shipping industry or the logistics industry as such. So they definitely are not going to talk theory. They will be talking, I'm sure, about their experiences and very practical, field-tested, and proven insights. So my role with them as a moderator is very limited. I just have to ensure that the discussions are grounded and, it is practical. And of course, it is the relevant subjects we discussed are relevant. And so that all of you can take back meaningful insights when you go back home. With that, I invite, though Deepa has given a very, very elaborate introduction for all of us. Thank you so much for that, Deepa. It was really wonderful. But still, I would like each panelist to briefly introduce herself about her role, organization, and of course the name, and also in one line, what excites you the most about your job today? Maybe I'll start with you, Sophia. Sorry.
Hello. Thank you. Again, happy to be here. Sophia Pearlene, currently holding the position of director with C.H. Robinson. So I have about more than 2 decades of experience in air logistics. So I've always been in leadership positions handling P&L and handling lots of strategic decision makings, leading teams and grooming them. So one thing which I can say which really inspires me in this journey is like creating strategic solution, because being part of air freight, nothing can wait. Something comes up urgently, the next hour you have to give the solution. Maybe the shipment will leave the country by the same day. So this excites me because there's no time, but you will enjoy doing that. Thank you.
Thank you, Sophia. Next, Anita, please.
Hello, good morning to everyone. It's a real pleasure and thankful to Seatrade, who has given me this opportunity to be on the stage. So as a director of Ario shipping and logistics, now the most exciting thing is that I'm on the other side of the table. So where the decision making and the team building and getting into every aspect of the organization, how to build it, and how the growth of the organization and the decision we have to take. So that really excites us, and we get to know network, get to know people also. So this is how it is more exciting for us.
Thank you, Anita. Thank you. Yeah.
Good morning, everyone. I've been looking forward to this day, and I'm glad that it is finally here. My name is Sanjana Raghu Menon, and I look into business expansion at Chakiat agencies. One thing that excites me the most about my work every day is the challenge of being better today than I was yesterday. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah.
Hello, everyone. I'm Smitha Shetty. I am the Regional Director for Achilles, managing the business for APAC. And I'm also responsible for the global operations for our company, Achilles. What excites me the most is the positioning that I have in the business, wherein globally, where everyone is talking about ESG and governance, I'm very well placed in APAC, which is still in a very development phase. So the opportunity that I have to bring in the change, not just in India, but across APAC, where I am kind of physically able to move around and bring in some subjects in the forum like this, is what excites me the most and brings me to work every day. Thank you.
Good morning.
Yeah. Thank you.
I am Nillima Palav, and I head customer care for CMA CGM India. The most exciting part for me is that in my role, I am able to add value to the business. Since I am in customer service, my major job is to deal with the emotions of the people. You know, when you are working with CMA CGM, my organization, how do you feel about it? Do you come to me because there's no choice? I'm one of the top leading brand, or is it that you are wholeheartedly come to you would be choosing CMA CGM? So that's the value addition I feel, that when the customers get in touch with us, they should be happy and they should be choosing us, not because we are just a top brand, but because we add value to their business. So that's the most exciting part.
Thank you, Nillima. Yeah, Rajeswary.
Good morning, everyone. I am Rajeswary from Whiteline projects based on Tamil Nadu. And I am focusing ODC movement by road. I worked with Express Global and All Cargo and ABC and Ingal, Kerala project for Alapura Beach. There's a warship movement from Cochin Shipyard to Alapura Beach. And I can proudly say that I have done the highest cargo ODC movement by road in Kerala and the widest cargo ODC movement in Kerala. And I am doing the fuel transportation for NPCL, Nuclear Power Corporation of Tamil Nadu, Kudangulam. And here, I am getting this opportunity. I am thankful to all. Thank you.
Good morning, everybody. Happy to be a part of the Seatrade organization, accordingly working here and being with everybody here as well. I'm Alina Ahmed. I work with Bharat Freight Group of Industries, or group of companies as we call it. And I am the head of research and development, international studies and projects. And from the past 2 years, I head the entire Northeast logistics. So basically what excites me is that it's an ever-changing world. And logistics as a part of the geopolitical world is changing drastically every single second as we speak. Because the moment I wake up and to the moment I sleep, there are several policy changes that actually does not turn to ground reality. And that is where I come in, and I play a very big role in making sure that the gap between what is visualized to what is the reality is fulfilled. So that's what's bringing me to work every day. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you all the panelists for introducing yourself. I think now it's time to get into the real discussion. Considering what's happening today in the geopolitical tensions which is going on, I think it is appropriate to start at the strategy level. And as you have already just said, I have Alina with me. She's an expert when it comes to geopolitics and cross-border businesses. So Alina, I'll start with you. And how is it? How is the recent development affecting the trade corridor is my first question. And what I'll do, I'll give my points which I would like you to touch upon so that we can finish it in one go. And in this role, have you ever experienced any gender-based challenges, okay, which you had to deal with? And it's a cross-border leadership role you are into. What kind of leadership skills you think that is required, to succeed in such kind of a role? And of course, your words of wisdom to the youngsters who are there to come into this space. Yeah, it's over to you.
Thank you so much. The first question's answer, how are the things changing and what's happening in geopolitical scenario is, as I rightly said, every single second the things are changing. I believe maritime sector, if we think about, is ports and harbors and things like that. But right now, in terms of the policy changes that are coming across, corridors are now getting made, where industry is more linked to railroad connectivity. It's not just ports. So ports are, yes, definitely there as an infrastructure, but now community is getting built in a manner where digital maritime is now put into place. Cultural sections are now put into place, understanding that human beings are involved in doing logistics, and whatever human beings are thinking and evolving is actually getting into place as well. When it comes to geopolitics, cross-border trades are completely different what's happening in the regional trade, right? You wake up, you understand that you've submitted a document that will work, but trust me, at the end of the day, it might not work. For example, the current Bangladesh, because I'm in Northeast right now, the current Bangladesh situation took us a year. For example, the vessel got stuck in October. The war happened during the day, and it took us 8 months to get that vessel out. In fact, being it a government vessel, right? So you might not believe what can be changed every single day. Now, because we were able to create a corridor which can now sustain forward, the major development that ports require now in terms of geopolitical sense is long-term thinking. What might work this second might not work in the next 10 years. So given that, political trade across the sections now need to be involved in long-term thinking. The second, definitely I would say the question was the biasness, yeah? I wouldn't say overt bias, I would say it's subtle underestimation. See, everybody's understanding is that women are not good decision makers. They are not prompt decision makers, but at the end of the day, I am sorry to say it like that. I would rather appreciate it saying like that being a younger woman in this understanding in geopolitical sense, women do underestimate you, but trust me, it is our biggest value proposition. Because understanding that decisions are detrimental in making policy decisions. And yes, if you know your technical know-how, trust me, nothing is going to work better. So biasness can only and only be taken care of, in my perspective, is if you have a very, very good technical know-how. And trust me, no one will ever be able to take you for granted post that. In terms of the leadership skills, first, I would say is, of course, the technical know-how. Because coming from a geopolitical background, coming into shipping, understanding technical terms was difficult. It took me about good 2 years, I'll not hide it. But once I got there, I understood that people, the moment you say few technical terms, they're like, okay, they know their trade. And I think that works really well. The second is understanding cultural differences. For example, I was just talking to my speakers on the table, coming from Mumbai, shifting to Northeast. It's a drastic culture change, right? Coming from Mumbai, speaking to people in Myanmar and Iran and BIMSTEC and CIS countries and INSTC protocols in Russia. Trust me, it's big cultural change every single day. At the end of the day, I would say be prepared for that cultural change, accept that cultural change, and try to integrate yourselves in that cultural change. The moment you start integrating yourselves, everything else becomes very easy discourse for per se. And then it becomes your language as well. So people usually tell me, and it's a big joke, like your language shifts every moment, but that's, I believe, how it should be. In terms of also, the last thing I would like to add is get mentors. Trust me, I'll accept I'm pretty young, but I'm appreciative that I have had very, very good mentors with me who were guiding me through this entire journey. Although it's been just 8 years that I'm in that industry, but mentors, trust me, makes your life a way easier. But at the same time, do not always follow your mentors. Do what's in your head as well. So at the end of the day, your identity prevails. And as women in cross-border policy making decisions, or I'll say trade, being a woman is a part where you have your own individualistic sense to make a small difference, wherein a large difference can be made. So think ahead and make that change. Thank you.
That's really interesting, Alina. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your insightful talk. I think from the geopolitics, we will move into the shipping line perspective. And Nillima, I'm coming to you. See, it is shipping industry or shipping line businesses where I would say that customer expectations meet the ground volatility, you know, where the execution of operation happens there. And it was customer service before, now it is customer experience, yeah? And that is a competitive advantage for any organization. So how does that change happen from the supportive role to the main role? How did that happen? One thing. And second thing is, I can imagine your plight now, especially, you know, thousands of containers are stuck in JNPT alone, including 1,000 and plus reefers are there. And ships are stopped and ports are not operating the way it should be. And I can imagine how the kind of pressures you must be experiencing. So how do you manage it? You know, their expectations, fears, and this thing. And another thing I would like to ask you about is the technological aspect of it. How technology is helping you to gain the customer trust or to ensure that the visibility is there for them. That also I would like to listen from you. And of course, your words of wisdom to the youngsters who would love to step into your shoe or any other role in the shipping line organization. Over to you, Nillima, please.
Yeah. So with regards to the first question, about how did we shift from a customer experience, or rather from customer service to customer experience. So when we talk about customer service, traditionally it has been about resolving the complaint. So essentially a customer has to be unhappy. He needs to have minimum one service failure to get in touch with us, and then we will be talking about, we'll be looking at, how we can resolve this issue. So this has been customer service. However, what over the period we have realized is that it is not only about resolving the issues, it is also about proactively understanding your customer, understanding the business requirement, and then helping them to add value or to grow their business. And that is where the term customer service has been shifting to customer experience. It is about how do they feel when they get in touch with us. Are we in the stage of dominance where we say, okay, we are the top line, you have no option, but you have to come to us. Is that what you want? Or is it that, these are the people who add value to our business, and therefore we would like to choose CMA CGM. So that is where the term customer service has been shifting to customer experience. Coming to the current situation, geopolitical situation, I think here we add the maximum value. Why? Because one thing, the major responsibility on customer service is to provide the transparency, not only being transparent and being honest, but also about reassuring the customer. Now everybody would be worried what's happening to my unit, when is, what are the other options that we can work right now. So it's a balance of transparency and at the same time being reassuring the customers, and also being with the customer till the time this situation resolves, and being with them at every step. We all will agree that we cannot do much about it right now, but this is where the human aspect will play a very big role. We know it's a situation to be handled. However, as CMA CGM, as a customer care, I would be with the customers until the shipment is delivered. If I recollect, your third question was about technology.
Yeah, assistance.
Technology definitely helps. I think we are in the world of AI, and I feel it is going to reduce our human efforts. It is going to allow us to create more face time for the customers, because generally there is a discussion, whether AI is going to kill our jobs. I personally feel a person knowing better AI than you will take your job. So AI is not going to kill your job, but it is definitely going to make you very, very efficient. And it is really wise that we adopt AI and we create more time for human engagement. So that's very important, because emotions cannot be, we are a social being. We are humans, and the emotions cannot be systemized. When you feel sad, you feel sad. A hug from a friend or the people that you love, that matters more. So it will definitely help us to focus more on the human angles. My advice to the youngsters is, I think, conditioning. When Captain Radhika was speaking, so when you close your eyes and you think about a captain, I think it's only a man which comes in your imagination. It's a person with a, you are not able to relate with a woman. And it is all about conditioning. I won't say it's a biased, but that's how we have been brought up. So when we say beautician, it will always be a woman. You will never think about a man, when you order or when you book for your makeup or something, and suddenly a man appears, oh, it's Mr. That's what happens. Similarly, when it's captain, Radhika ma'am, it's always about, a person, a man who comes, So this conditioning is breaking today. And I would say to the youngsters that no need to be conditioned. and it is a change. Everybody is talking about, you know, how we can empower women, how we can create a platform for women. That is important. But what is more important is now the woman is empowered. Now she will have her own opinion. So it is also necessary to make an environment or make you know, surroundings also. I would say we have to onboard them to probably have an empowered woman, you know, how to deal with an empowered woman. That also needs to be changed, because then we are used to, you know, saying that, okay, we need to help women, we need to do this. But what happens when she gets empowered? You know, ma'am spoke about, Captain ma'am spoke about certain difficult situations. So it is also about the surroundings. If we do not have, if we do not work on the surrounding, then again there might be an imbalance. So overall, this is my say.
Thank you, Nillima. And yeah, you rightly said, AI is not going to take nobody's job away. You know, it is going to make your life more relaxed, and you can put your efforts into better areas. Yeah, from the shipping line perspective, I think we'll move a little more closer to the vessel, and I think it is Sanjana I would be talking to you. You know, you are I could say that a kind of a Gen Z entrant into a very old business house, you know, in Kochi. So, and you are into a highly traditional business, again, port agency or vessel agency or, you know, line agency is a very traditional business. So my first question to you, Sanjana, is how do you balance this legacy with the traditional agency business part of it? And also would like to know what's the role technology playing in your area of the business? And you are, be it in the port agency or the vessel handling part of it, it's a core operational aspect. What kind of challenge do you think that women are having in such area? And obviously, your words of wisdom to the youngsters, especially in spite of the gender bias, I'm saying that those who wish to come into the core operational areas. Yeah, over to you, please.
Okay, so I always say Chakiat is not a fast growing company, but we are a fast moving one. And I can proudly say this as I'm the 4th generation and we've been a legacy business. And Chakiat is a 100-year-old organization, and when we initially started our journey in logistics and shipping, we were only into customs broking. And as we grew as a company, we realized that we must provide a one-stop solution for our clients, and that is when we decided to diversify. Today we are competing with MNCs not only within India but globally, who come with their own ideas and viewpoints. And the only reason we are prevailing is because of the goodwill that has been generated because of the core traditional business values, right? And I believe that one must imbibe from their core traditional business values and cultivate it further. In fact, we've had clients who've been with us for over 50 years now. And the reason is because of the goodwill. And the innovation here would be diversification. And if I remember...
Technological part of it, Sanjana.
Yeah.
How is technology playing a role in your business?
Yeah, so for us, technology would mean digitization. And customer is king in today's world. And they require real-time updates and transparency. So let me explain by giving an example. Customs broking can be a tedious process. And at Chakiat agencies, we have developed our own in-house software with the help of few senior managers, keeping in mind the requirements of our clients and my team. And this has been my pet project. So I have ensured that this has been implemented across the board, and this has helped in A, transparency, and B, accountability within my team. And in turn, we are able to give any information that our client requires. So this is how digitization or technology has changed the way we work today.
Yeah.
And-
And about the challenges you feel that women would be facing, if there is something, when they handle the key operational roles.
Yeah, thank you for this question. I mean, I feel this is very relevant in today's world. Few of the challenges that I feel women face would be a visibility and representation. By this I mean, sometimes we may feel a little isolated when we are on ground, and this might lead us to feel like there's a lack of role models or mentors. And I feel like this also leads me to my second challenge, which is incorrect perception. And by incorrect perception, I would say people feel that we are not able to handle the pressures of vessel handling. But times are definitely changing, and I have witnessed this firsthand when I visited the Tuticorin port, where I met Miss Asha Pillai for the first time. And as she took me around, I saw a lot of interns and crane operators who are female. And this leads me into hoping that women in future may not have to deal with these challenges.
Right, and your advice to those who wish to come into the core operational role. Obviously, you already said it that, there is no need to, feel any gender bias, and if you wish it, do it. Is it so? Yeah.
So honestly, I would consider myself one among these young women, but from whatever experience I have so far, I would say that this is a challenging industry. However, it's very rewarding. The job satisfaction you get is immense, only if you're ready to stay curious and work towards your goals. Operational discussions might feel a little intimidating initially, but if you're ready to stay committed, you'll start being confident. And by confidence, I mean you'll be able to analyze a situation better or give better inputs. And gradually, gender takes a backseat. And everyone starts seeing your abilities. And most importantly, you must believe that you belong here. Thank you.
Thank you, Sanjana. That has been really interesting, especially from a younger generation entrepreneur. It was really good to listen that. And I think shipping today is no more port to port. That era's gone, over. Now it is integrated logistics, and everybody is into it. And we have an expert here, Sophia. She is from one of the leading, integrated logistic service providers. And you have been in the industry for quite some time.
Yes.
So my first question to you is, what is the kind of shift you are noticing in the industry? And second one is, in your leadership journey, what is the biggest challenge which you feel that shaped you? That really, that was the acid test kind of. That is what I would like to know. And again, C.H. Robinson is a company who invests hugely into technology, especially AI and IoT thing, because I used to very closely follow your organization. And how is it helping it? Now, what is the kind of transitions it brought into the freight forwarding business, the technology? And obviously, what do you think the industry can do, or the organization can do, to bring in more ladies into the leadership roles? Over to you, please, Sophia.
Thank you. Okay, so the major changes what we are facing in the industry currently is, I would say that because of all the disruptions what we face currently, we are forced to find alternative markets. Most of the buyers are forced to find alternative markets. So more than offshoring now, they are reassuring. Like they are finding, shifting either to the home country for manufacturing, or they are shifting to neighboring countries, because they want to have a proximity of not like a time zone between India and US. Instead, they want US compared to Mexico, what is the time zone? So something like that. And also the dependency on one country, like China, or the entire world was dependent on China. So in order not to depend on that one country policy, so China plus one strategy was created. And then I think that is also creating lots of positive trends here. And also I would say that digitalization is also actually a part of changes in the current dynamics. And then sustainability is one of the things which is getting high on focus, because we have, earlier we used to have like they used to issue certificates on certain sustainability. But then now it's all about measuring based on scientific-based targets, where each company has a goal in terms of how they participate to the world. Like, it's not about, okay, you have something which is forced on you. You willfully do this, go green, and lots of initiatives. They also encourage the employees to click pictures of what initiatives they do at home. Because unless each and individual contribute to this, it cannot be a corporate affair alone. So that is also changing, transforming logistic industry a lot. And with the tariffs coming in and war situation and lots of uncertainties, we are constantly made to create new solutions in terms of now the capacity, everything has gone out of proportion, both in ocean and air, I would say, because most of the carriers have announced that none of the current contracts or whatever can hold good, and it is, nobody has to be blamed for this. So we need to create an out-of-the-box solution for the customers. And sometimes the freight forwarders are somebody who's in between the shipping line or the airline or the customers. So we need to get into a win-win situation. So these are the current global transformation which we are facing, and I would say enjoying by providing solution. And
your biggest challenge?
Yeah, okay. The biggest challenge is, I would say, navigating through changes, because I think every organization is now into restructuring. Change management is something which is very important for all of us to, as a leader, to guide the team, motivate them, and make sure that they don't feel the fear, because change is something most of the individual will not accept. Human tendency has a resistance to change, that I will remain as it is. I am happy doing what I am doing. But unless you push for that, unless you give them the bigger picture, they don't change. But then when a change comes, the entire team will not get what they want. But to motivate them and ask them for their patience and support, and then train them and groom them to create a stronger team, and then achieve the goals as a leader. This is something, is a challenge, but I think once you are successful in that, it will really create a very good footprint in your career.
Okay.
And
what can organizations do to bring in more ladies into leadership roles, according to you?
Of course, this is my favorite topic actually, because I've seen, most of the women are not able to move up to the ladder because of not able to shift to a certain place, or because some positions demands that you have to shift from your place. Like generally, men are quick to shift. I mean, the women will say, okay, I will be here, I will take care of the children. But then no woman will even tell the man, okay, you be here, take care of the children, I will go. So that will be the last option of any woman. I have seen many women taking this bold step, but at least 50% of the women fail and they come back. And I will always feel that unless you are sure, you shouldn't be taking that, because you are not doing justice to yourself as well as to the organization. But in order to help such women, I think it's better now after COVID, and also thanks to AI and digitalization, that I mean, the location doesn't matter actually. You can sit anywhere, but what matters is the result. It's not where you sit. People can sit right in front of you and waste the 8 hours or 9 hours, or can sit in any place but still be very productive. But if that trust is created by the woman, that because if you are with an organization, the trust is created with the organization, and then they will entrust you with higher responsibilities. Then they will tell you, okay, you sit anywhere, do this. And this is how I think women can grow in the industry.
Fine. Thank you for being so very honest with your opinion, Sophia. Now I think we will move on to the entrepreneurs. We got some bold and very encouraging words to hear from the entrepreneurs. Anita, see, you are sitting next to C.H. Robinson, you know, and many other giants are there. Now every other organization, be it a port operator or a line operator, everybody is into everything. You know, now it's not that a forwarder's job and port's job, and that is not there. Everybody is into integrated logistics, because that is what customer demands. Okay, yeah, so what was your biggest challenge setting up this business? You also been part of organization, corporates before. One thing. Second thing is that, what leadership qualities are required to take it through along, take your team along as an entrepreneur. It is being a manager or being a leadership role in an organization and running your own organization are two different cup of teas, So that is one thing I would like to hear from you. And what does the trade or the industry should do more women to come into the entrepreneurship? What kind of support you expect? Or you feel that if this is there, that we can expect more of women coming into the entrepreneurship thing? Yeah, please.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Asha, for this question. So to start with, the challenges being an entrepreneur presently is that due to this global disruptions happening now, we know that there are so much of cost increases happening, freight rates increasing, and also the different customary regulations coming into the market, where we need to understand the documentation part. There would be so many things getting digitalized also, online platforms. So to understand the requirements and give a good solution for our customers who get into these digitalization platform also, we need to understand their requirements and give them a solution. So that sometimes becomes a challenge, because sometimes we are not well equipped or not knowing about the required things. But how we deal with the respective service providers, and see, everyone will not be having that forte into the industry that everyone would be managing. There would be specific type of service providers who would be expertise or having their niche expertise in this particular line. And for example, the different mode of transportation, it can be sea, it can be air, it can be road, or even the coastal movements, like within the Indian waters. So there are specific service providers who we think that we can take their service, because customers would be coming to us for a solution where they want one-stop solution, as Ms. Radhika mentioned, Sanjana mentioned. So they always look for a one-stop solution where they want that we will be just coordinating with the freight forwarders or the NUCC agents, but you have to ensure that all these things have been taken care, and we need an overall package. So here the main role is that the weakness becomes a strength for us, because we get associated with various service providers, and we give all the service to our customers, end-to-end solutions. So this is what we believe to have a value system with Ario shipping.
Yeah. And what does the industry can do, according to you, to bring in more women entrepreneurs into logistics network?
Yeah, so if you see, when Self got into this role, everyone used to ask me, how do you manage, So it was an opportunity which I got. I just took it, that opportunity. I just thought, okay, later on we'll see what happens. So what my suggestion would be for a women entrepreneur would be, give them chance to network. Such events should be conducted where the women should be part of those network, and they should have training, targeted training should be given, workshops should be conducted, so that they can see where exactly they get pitch into, or where exactly their smartness would be, So those things, I think these are the platforms where they should be given roles, and especially the networking part.
Thank you so much, Anita. This is a very, very, very true observation. I feel that a good suggestion. This Women's Day, it says that, give to gain. So your way of giving it to the youngsters who wish to come as this.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Anita. And we have one more lady entrepreneur sitting with us today, and she deals with a different kind of business altogether. She is in the movement of Odyssey cargo, over-dimensional cargo across India. She has already completed many successful such operations. And madam, what is the challenges you faced in setting up this business, running this business, and what do you see that, whether you feel that it is easy for women to manage such kind of a business? Your say on it, please.
Thank you, ma'am. First of all, I want to tell you that when we are going to plan an Odyssey moment, we are ready to face unexpected challenges at any time that come with us. At that time, we have to face that obstacles, and we are ready to convince the officials. That means the police and fire force and other electricity, that's that type of officials. We are ready to convince them. And now I am going to, coming to your question, ma'am. First of all, the trust with the clients. We are ready to convince the clients, ready to convince the authorities, that means the companies, that only we can make that work successfully complete.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, what is, you think that it is easy for women to manage it? Have you faced any specific gender-based challenges in this role, Rajeswary?
Of course, in my experience, that is very easy to manage. Not very easy, but there is no strategy. I say that there is no strategy. Only the hard working and the delivery, that means the work completion is the only strategy. We can, and we get all the supported from the government side and the other side.
Yeah, but you should have a good domain knowledge as well. You should have having very good idea how it is happening, what can happen. That kind of domain knowledge is important. Or your team is taking care of all that.
Ma'am, I have only, I have a graduation from Kerala University, but in this field, I have the experience on working.
Fine. Thank you. That is good. And I think we have been hearing, Sophia was talking about sustainability aspect of it. This is a word we have been hearing only in conferences few years back. And now, but in every other place we talk, every other thing, be it a customer or a transporter, whoever it is, green logistics is the buzzword around the industry. It is not just a fancy word anymore, it is something which is mandatory. It is a real requirement, what is customers demand. It is not that a request. They interest that they tell the operators that we want a green channel movement. So that is something which is of very relevant. And in this situation, geopolitical tension, part of risk management is something we cannot. She has already said we have to plan advance, we have to foresee all the risks. So you are the expert dealing with all that with Achilles. So I would like to hear from you how this ESG and risk management segment reshaping the logistic ecosystem, how it is happening, what kind of changes which is coming in over there. And see, the sustainability and technology go hand in hand, isn't it? So how the effect is, which way it is impacting your area of business. And your area is something new. I don't think many of them would have heard about Achilles match, and because that is coming to limelight now. And so what kind of leadership roles are emerging in that segment is something I would like to hear from you. And obviously, and you are in a very senior leadership role as a regional head. So for a global logistic leadership or in a regional part, what kind of skills the people should develop, the youngsters should be developing? These are the questions I have for you, and over to you, please, Smitha.
Thank you so much, Asha. And thank you so much to all the co-panelists. I must say, I've come at the time when almost whatever I'm going to say is touched by each one of you in some way or the other. So very well planned.
But your business is touching all of them. So.
Exactly. So Let me actually, I know a lot of people have been hearing a lot about sustainability and ESG. Just in case if anybody doesn't know what ESG is, it's environmental, social, and governance. If I put it in my own way, how I kind of speak with people to make it more relatable is environmental is planet. Just ensure that any business decisions that you're making is safe, is ensuring that you're taking care of the planet. When we talk about social, it's actually people. So ensure that you're not taking any decisions which is harming human in any ways. And modern slavery is the term, and EDI, equality, diversity, and inclusions are some of the policies that are coming into the picture. And the final one is the governance, which technically is profit. Like end of the day, every business is in business because they want to make money out of it. So the entire ESG concept is being elaborated or has been brought into an attention in a way that people feel it's a new propaganda. But I say it's always been there. And it was always there for businesses to embrace it in a nicer manner. It's just that now people are talking more about it because of the climate change.
Yeah.
And we are all witnessing it. Like I think last evening there were some rain droplets. And I was like, raining in March, so clearly there's a reason why we're talking about ESG and sustainability here. So to your question, now that I've kind of briefly touched on why ESG, how is ESG and risk reshaping logistics? I'll actually explain that with a very simple example. Don't want to give a lot of theory here. There's a very popular or an industry leader into renewable energy who's our client. And they've been growing exponentially purely because they were in the right business. Everybody's looking for clean energy. Everybody's looking for renewable energy as a source of replacing fossil fuels. So they were definitely doing good, and everything was working in their favor. They had all the ESG policies and practices in place. They had all the reasons to believe that they're going to be successful. However, we live in a changing environment. Nothing is constant here, and Alina addressed geopolitical risk earlier, and we all are in the middle of a global crisis. And clearly, what this business didn't really thought well through about was the concentration of their supply chain. Where are they buying their materials from? Because even to make a renewable energy product, there's a lot of dependency on multiple suppliers around the world. So when we actually deep dived into their supply chain network, we realized that they were highly dependent on one country, the country that Sophia highly mentioned a while ago. And their suppliers were also highly concentrated in a very tight network. These were just very limited suppliers around the world, especially majorly in that one particular country. So what's really happening now is with the geopolitical situation changing, with corridors not being accessible, with the crisis, with export policies changing now, they are definitely in a soup. They're in a much troublesome situation now because they can't meet the deliverables if the suppliers are not in a position to provide the raw materials. So how exactly we kind of position this is, while they have been taking care of ESG, what they didn't focus on is the risk factor of it. And for me, logistics or supply chain is a mix of ESG and risk together. So while you focus on ESG, be aware of the changing environment and how that's going to impact so that you are in a position to have an ongoing business opportunity rather than a temporary short-sighted vision. And something also Sophia mentioned a while ago, that many a times we just think about what to do today, but not about what will work in the long run. And I think that's what is missing today. And that's how I would say how logistics could be reshaped, is ensure that you're well aware about the risk while you're also focusing on the sustainability. Sustainability is required, and one thing that I always keep saying, that I don't purely talk about ESG because that's my job and I'm paid for it. I actually speak about it because I want a better life for my 7-year-old who has a long life ahead, and I want her to have fresh air to breathe and a nice environment to live in. So I think it's a matter for each one of us here that do what we can to ensure that every decision that you make, you are not harming the environment anyways, and obviously people, we all need to take care of each other. Something that Nillima mentioned, we are a social human or social animal. We like to be spoken to and shared rather than actually just always instructed on what to do. So yeah, it's about those aspects.
Yeah.
I think your next question was more around how does leadership come into this,
yes,
right?
Yes.
So in my world, I actually say leadership is no longer about control. It's about collaboration. And I think what we all need to start thinking about as leaders here, which I'm sure each one of us are doing here, and I'm sure all of you all are thinking about it, is how are you ensuring that you're collaborating and working in a community rather than actually just thinking about yourself. So again, I'm going to quote this as an example that historically supply chain due diligence or supply risk assessment was always done 1:1, which means if I'm a business, I'm more worried about how is my supplier taken care of, like what kind of risk analysis am I doing for them. But what we forget is, let's take maritime industry as a network, as an industry. Achilles has a program called as Maritime Network, where we bring in all the port operators, ship owners, and ship managers into one, program, wherein we actually realize that almost 45% of the suppliers that they're doing business with are common to each other. But historically, each one of them would if I may use the word harass, because you always ask suppliers to fill in a long questionnaire for a tender process and for due diligence without realizing that the supplier's core job is to go ahead and do the work and not fill these long questionnaires. And each one of them have to do this multiple times for multiple businesses that they're working with. So through the leadership program, what we're saying here is, don't do it multiple times, do it once. Do it through a single assessment and share the data with everybody else in the market. Don't be worried about, don't bring competition into this. Work together in this, because you're just uplifting the supply chain and ensuring that they all learn together in it and do this once in the right manner, so that then you can actually go ahead and share that data and say that how can you actually improve the score of these suppliers and bring them into that level where they feel confident in working in the global changing environment as well.
Okay, fine.
And I think your last...
Yeah, it is your advice to the youngsters who wish to come to the global leadership roles.
Okay, all right. I'm not too sure if I'm well placed to give advice to anyone for that matter, but if I may just share a leaf from my book or my life, is I actually say that for most leaders or for most women, they always think that we need to be perfect, we need to be an expert to talk about any subject. I'll be absolutely honest, and I'll raise my hand here. I was not an expert in ESG or sustainability, and neither did I know what I was getting into when I took up this job. But I kind of always say that, as far as you know how to join the dots and you know how to get to something and ask the right question in the right forum, I think you will be best placed to learn on the go. So I think something Captain Radhika Menon also mentioned earlier, she jumped into something which she believed in, and then she eventually got through that. And I think that's the mantra I had. I was the first employee in APAC for my business. No one knew about ESG. Nobody knew why we should do anything about sustainability. 15 years ago when I started this business, lots of doors were shut on me. It took me a long time to get to where I am today, and that's purely because I believed in the subject. I actually realized on the go that this has got more meaning to it. It's not just about filling your pocket with the money, but it's also actually doing something better to the world. And I think that purpose related to me more, and that's why I kind of went going with it. So I would say, don't wait to become an expert. That's my mantra. Just jump into it. You will eventually learn. The world is a better place. People are not cruel. I say that they all have the patience to let you learn, fall, and they will lift you up. Surround yourself with positive mindset. People around you, just ensure you don't have all the negative speaking noises. Shut them in your ears. You can't control them, but you can just control yourself. So that's all I would say.
That's great, Smitha. It's a really forward-looking perspective. It is really interesting and insightful listening to you all, ladies. It was really, I'm sure that if the audience also would be benefited out of it. So as it's time to conclude the session, and as a moderator, it is my responsibility to sum up what we have said. As you have already listened to all of them, the pathway, their leadership journey was different. But the underlying, the thread which connect it all, that is the adaptability part of it, that is the understanding of the domain, and that is about the taking care of the risk aspect of it. All that remains the same. And our industry is evolving. That is what they have been telling. It is very, very fast evolvement, or continuously it is getting evolved. And we need leaders who can, man through, who can take through complex situations with confidence. And when it comes to the gender diversity and, women empowerment part of it, I think what we need is a constant efforts from all sectors and right mindset to accept the women leadership is required, and also continuous and constant efforts from all organizations as well. And one more thing I would like to add is that, see, events like this to talk about the gender diversity and all, it's really helpful and it's really good, where we can address, we can voice our concerns and ideas. But that alone is not going to help. The curated videos or the pictures, beautiful pictures, the event pictures which the organization posting, it alone is not going to bring diversity or women empowerment into it. Where what it is required is the action, where in our day-to-day activities, day-to-day movements or whatever is happening in your organization, that is where the change should come. It's in the community, it's at the home, that is where the change should come. Obviously, this kind of events definitely will help to bring that to the center stage. And with that, I think my very sincere thanks to all the panelists for expressing your experiences so openly and thoughtfully, I must say that. And also thank you India Seatrade, and a very special thanks to Mr. Sudhir Nambiar for organizing this platform. And thank you audience for being part of this conversation. Thank you all. Yeah, sure. Yeah, if the time permits, I thought since it is, there is a Q&A session is possible, because why I was winding up is because of, the time part of it. So the forum is open for questions, and yes, please, you can ask specific questions to any of the panelists. They would be happy to answer. But limit that to, I think, 3 or 4, Deepa?
Yeah, we just have 10 minutes, so let's try to wind up there to that. Yeah. Should be on, sir. Can you try it out?
Hello. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I represent Gujarat Maritime University, and it's been great listening to all the experts. So I have one question, like, for example, things that are being unfolded in last 2 years, the way things are changing. Can we say that international trade or transportation sector is not able to make the profits as much as they're expected? Can we say that it is all geopolitics which is driving the trade, which is driving the business? Or I am wrong, that is my question. And also, to what extent the challenges being posed by geopolitics can be addressed by risk management? Thank you.
Is the general question open to all or open to all? Yeah, maybe the geopolitics.
So certainly to answer you, yes, the geopolitics does drive the trade, but at the end of the day, it's the people who pushes the geopolitics to make sure the trade happens. For example, everybody knows the demand-supply chain. If there is a demand, and if the citizens of the country push towards the nation's leaders to get it done, it certainly gets done. That's one. Second is, when it comes to what will be happening in the future, is going to be derived by what's the need of the nation. See, understanding geopolitics on an international level, of course we understand that the global picture is there, but what's the need of the nation comes first in the eyes of the leadership of the government, right? So it's actually us who will derive what's to be coming next. And in terms of the ESG, I would like Shilpa, right? Smitha to answer, please.
See, on the ESG aspect, I would actually say when it comes to supplier concentration, which I was saying earlier as well, end of the day, every business knows that sustainability is a reality. They need to do something about it, and they need to have policies and strategies around it to have any opportunity to do business in the global changing environment. However, what really matters for most leadership industries like major businesses is that they need to ensure that they are not depending heavily on one particular tier of suppliers, and they're creating multi-tier supply chain. I think that is the most important factor. Having just one level of supplier, tier one access could actually be restricting the business from having a long-term perspective, because you might think, oh, my supply chain looks absolutely fine. They're all big players. They all are doing the right things on ESG. They have taken the oath on sustainability. I don't have to worry about it. But what you might not be knowing, or what you're not aware of, is that you're signing up for a supply chain which they are also sourcing from tier 2, and tier 2 is sourcing from tier 3, and tier 3 is sourcing from tier 4, and you have no clue how long that supply chain looks like. And many a times when you look at that concentration or that supply chain risk assessment, you'll realize that the first level comes down to just few suppliers in the world. And if anything goes wrong, and if a geopolitical tension arises in one of those areas, the entire supply chain is at a risk. So I think what's really important is, from an ESG and sustainability lens, is don't stop at scope 1 and scope 2. Go into the scope 3 side of it, which is go into your supply chain and deep dive in that aspect. That could prepare you for the geopolitical tensions and ever-changing environment around you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you for your question as well. Yes, next question.
Hi, good morning. My name is Sheila. I am the voice of the industry from the freight forwarding part. And my question is directed to Nillima. Might be it's a trade question, but what makes my question relevant is, in every logistics industry, the customer service is handled by a woman. So you've been adding on that you are addressing with the emotion of people, right? So how do we handle the emotions of people when there is shutouts, when there is, connection missed out? Because the liners will give a very, it's a very simple answer. There was instability, all those things. But when we are the people who directly face the customer. So my question is very simple. How to deal with emotion at such a time? Thank you so much.
Thank you for that question. And I'm sure when I was a customer, I started my career as a customer. And when things don't go as per your plan, that is the time when you get upset. And we don't live in a perfect world. We have always seen that the time we have planned, it has not gone in the same direction, and this is a reality. So when it comes to a shutout, I think we should be looking at how best we can plan the shipments. When the customer says, okay, you have shut out my container, I have seen umpteen number of times that they have overbooked, and probably the space which has been taken over on the vessel is probably by a dummy booking, which actually should have been cleaned up. So yes, it's a disturbing event, but I think more than a service failure, we should be looking at how rapidly you can resolve the issue, whether you can give an alternate solution for that particular shipment. That is what will help you. And many times it may not even work out, but as I told you, being on the human side, your attempt or your passion to help, it always will it will overrule any kind of situation. Many situations will be beyond your control, but how you react to it, what empathy is that you show to the customer, is that what helps you. This problem will never get solved, but I think how we react to it is very important. How we deal with that situation is very, very important.
Thank you, Ms. Nillima. And Ms. Nillima, is that probably the reason why we see a lot of women in the customer relationship profile? Because we can
Take care of the emotion.
Yes, handling emotions. We handle tantrums daily, right? All right. Any other questions? Yes, ma'am. Please walk up to your nearest mic.
Very good morning to everyone present here. Myself Shivani, representing Indian Maritime University. My question is to Ms. Alina Ahmed, ma'am. So, for students aspiring to build a career in ports and shipping industry, what do you think are the areas or the project works which they can go so that, work into in the current market scenario so that they can get a breakdown into the industry and bring in some development to the industry?
Thank you for your question. So to give you my personal experience, again, my dad is my biggest backup. He told me do not rely on one degree, take multiple degrees. And that is why I decided to do a double bachelor's, which is business and media, because of course I wanted to get into politics. So then again I did a double master's, which is political science at one hand and international relations at one hand. And now I'm doing a doctorate in global business management. So the idea is, if anybody from anything is aspiring to be something, one degree takes certain which is your core value, and take other degrees which will back you up, right? So at the end of the day, you're able to handle multiple understandings from your main degree. In terms of shipping focus, yes, in terms of the projects that we talk about, so for example, the projects that I work on are strategic to the Indian government, where we make corridors, right? But at the end of the day, take projects which will matter in the long run. Certainly to understand the business, shorter run projects are well defined, well understood, and easier to get success in. But for your success, I believe so. For your success, for your career to be success, you need to think long term, like really, really long term, at least 5 to 10 years ahead. Thank you.
Thank you. That's some real solid advice. Any other questions before we move on? All right. Thank you so much. On that note, we wrap up our opening session of Voice of Ladies in Logistics. Let's give this panel a loud, loud round of applause, everyone. That was the opening panel discussion of historically the very first all-woman seminar or all-women day from the logistics domain. So thank you so much, dear panelists. And to honor them with a token of our love and gratitude, I'd like to invite on stage Ms. Shameen Khan, General Manager, OSL Shipping and Logistics, to kindly come forward. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome her with a loud round of applause. As I call out the panelist's name, I request you to kindly step forward and receive this memento. May I invite Ms. Sophie Pearlene to kindly step forward. Ladies and gentlemen, a loud round of applause to Ms. Pearlene, Director, Air Products, South Asia, Middle East and Africa, C.H. Robinson. Kuchin, where's the applause? Louder applause. Thank you. I would now like to invite Ms. Anita Nair to kindly step forward. Ladies and gentlemen, Ms. Anita Nair, Director, Ario Shipping and Logistics Private Limited. Let me invite Ms. Sanjana Raghu Menon, Management Chakiat Agencies Private Limited, to kindly step forward. Thank you so much, Ms. Sanjana Raghu Menon, for joining us. I would now like to invite Ms. Smitha Shetty forward to receive the memento. Ms. Smitha Shetty, Regional Director, APAC, Achilles Information Limited. We could listen to her the whole day. She is such a good speaker, I must say. Thank you so much. And now I'd like to invite Ms. Nillima Palav forward. Ms. Nillima Palav, Head Customer Care, CMA CGM Agencies, India Private Limited. A loud round of applause. Thank you so much, Ms. Palav, for your insights today. Ms. Rajeswary S., Managing Partner, Whiteline Projects. Welcome, ma'am. Thank you so much for joining us today. Ms. Alina Ahmed, Regional Head, North and East India, Bharat Freight Group of Companies. Thank you so much, Ms. Ahmed, for joining us. Thank you very much. And now, of course, Dr. Asha Pillai. May I request her to kindly step forward, our moderator today, Chief Strategy Officer, Docker Vision, who led the discussion, completely a relevant discussion with all relevant points. She brewed some interesting conversations and concluded just in time. Thank you so much, Dr. Pillai, for joining us today. And now may I request you to kindly stay back for a quick photograph with all the panelists. May I request all the panelists to join for a quick photograph with Ms. Shamim Khan as well. All of you together, please. Should they step forward? Yes, please step forward, yes. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this is absolutely a visual treat to see a panel, all women panel on stage, which is just the beginning of a day which is truly dedicated to women power. Thank you so much, all of you, for joining us. It would never have been the same without your presence. Thank you so much. May I request you to kindly join the audience, all of you. Thank you.